Let's go.
Yeah, go.
Oh, that's
So
okay.
you're moving my...
I am, you can see that.
Oh, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome to the Inspire Cross-Border Participants Visit. And for those who haven't met me before and who I didn't get the opportunity to meet over lunch, my name is David Thomas and I'm the Project Director of the Inspire. As you all know, Inspire is about initiating new pathways for innovators, researchers and entrepreneurs. And the Cross-Border Participants Visit marks a major milestone for the project as we approach the end phases and project completion. It's really great that so much has been achieved. New products and services are going to market and new processes are being implemented. New businesses have started up and existing businesses are employing more people as a direct outcome of the interventions that have taken place during the time of the project. And that has got to be a good thing for the economies of both Ireland and Wales. This visit is all about building relationships. There are markets in both economies that can be an expansion of your existing operations. What we hope as a direct outcome of today is that we will see new trade happening across the Ireland-Wales border. So don't hang back in introducing yourself to your new colleagues, and I would encourage you to enter fully into all of the activities that we have planned for you over the next couple of days. I'm now going to hand over to Peter Lord, the Inspire Project Manager for Wales, to get things started by making all the necessary introductions and to give you an outline of what you can expect over the next 2 days. Peter,
Okay, thank you.
to you.
Hi everyone, thank you for coming and thank you for making the effort to come and join us all together. The packs you've got in your hand now, in there is a profile of all the people, most of the faces you see in the room. There's a few faces that are not in the room that you'll probably see at the networking evening today, or you may even see them tomorrow. Some of my guys are coming for half the time, etc. However, there's brief profiles in there. I pinched photographs from wherever I could. If there's any spelling mistakes that will upset you, apologies. But really is a great opportunity to mingle, mix and network, make some great contacts. But housekeeping first, there's no fire alarms today, so if the fire alarm does go off, out this door, and we all assemble just in front of those buildings there. The toilets are just past reception. There's refreshments out here, which will be sort of filled in during the day. And if you want anything sweeter, we sell things at reception as well. The pack also gives you a bit of an agenda. You'll see on the back of the photo sheet. We're having a networking lunch tonight, starts at networking dinner, starts at 7 over at the Cleddarbridge Hotel. If you're going straight over there, there's a load of us after this event, we'll go straight over to the bar and wait for everyone to sort of join us, so feel free to join us. It's a set menu, I'm afraid, tonight. We had to choose a dinner just to get it down, so I hope everyone does enjoy it. I suppose my next introduction would be Lawrence Holt. Lawrence is the chair of the steering group that kind of makes sure we don't get into too much trouble and we do everything we're supposed to do. So Lawrence.
Peter, thank you. And David, thank you both for all your planning for today and welcome from me, everybody. In EU speak, this is a cross-border participation event. We're getting together to encourage one another, okay? And listen to one another. That's the idea. So I'm really glad this can happen. It's cross-border because the Irish contingent have come over to Pembrokeshire to join us in Wales. But it's cross-border locally because people from Swansea even are down here. So welcome to you as well. Because in the interim, I mean, since Inspire got underway, there's a whole city region development plan also coming to birth. And we had strong encouragement from Sweden at the birth of that, and we've got strong encouragement, I believe, again today coming from Sweden. So we welcome these Vikings, we really do, so go for it and feel free. The unique selling point of Inspire really was the whole Inspire bit. It was the ideation process. How can we be more creative around maybe the ideas we have? And we've just got to be continually recreating and creative, whatever stage we're at. And I just know, having listened to Ola a bit and talked to him in the past, that's an important part. Not so much what he'll teach you, so I'm not saying notes aren't important, but you'll receive something. I think you will have something imparted to you as he shares his experiences. So, Ola Ekman, he's from Gothenburg. He's married to Britta. 4 sons, is it? 4 sons. One's getting married this weekend, so he's on a bit of a tight schedule. I do appreciate him fitting us in at the moment. And yes, Ola's a serial entrepreneur. I think it's about 200 businesses. I'm not quite sure how many he's been involved in setting up. But there's good fruit there, so I feel we can learn from real experience. He's very much into seeing the people grow as the key to all of this. And my first contact with him was when he volunteered to serve on a project that I was involved in Rwanda, which was setting up an entrepreneurship school there. So he and his wife went down to Rwanda, and since then the fruit of that is you're setting up 2 schools at the moment there. And so he's very willing to serve in these areas. And of course, I was thinking coming over, I thought, well, service, success, you know, you can't separate them, can you? It's the whole circuit of success, is serving people, solving problems, providing needs and so on. So Ola, it's a pleasure to welcome you. Thank you for coming and have freedom. He's asked me to keep time, so if we get too thirsty or whatever, I might blow a whistle and we'll take a break after an hour or so. Okay.
Thank you, Lawrence. I hear your Irish went up very early this morning, so I'll try to keep you awake. So my name is Ola, it's O-L-A, Ekman from Gothenburg, Sweden. Do everybody know where Gothenburg is? The second city of Sweden. Just last week, actually, Sweden in an international report was named the second most creative country in the world, and that there are some reasons for that, and I get into that later on. So my background is a little hard to explain, you know, because I'm a very wide entrepreneur and I've been into almost everything. So when I was 60 years the other day, the most common speech was, I've known Ola for 10 or 20 or 30 years, but I still don't know what he's doing. And you will understand why. So this picture is from a project I did with Siemens, you know, one of the bigger companies in Europe, where the mission was to transform one of the Swedish companies with 660 people that was going down the drain because they were selling products. You know, product selling is not so good today if China can produce the same product for half the price. So it was really a challenge. It was one of 10 programs in the whole in Siemens, and the idea was that how can we instead of selling a product, sell packages and sell it as a service and survive. So it was a survival thing. That is, you know, you see a lot of big companies going down the drain because they have the wrong approach. But it's not only big companies, it's also small companies that have to understand how to get your model of earning money right. So in this case, we had to transform the people before we transformed the business model, which was really tough in Siemens. But the aim now, to the transformation of the mind of the people in this company, the aim is to double the turnaround in 3 years, from 50 million pounds to 100 million pounds, just by transforming the minds of the people. And so I will get into some of the ways we were thinking of transforming, of changing. And I hope I will help some of you. I checked on your companies and what you're doing. So I'm not only in big companies, I do a lot of small companies too. and my title at the University of Gothenburg is, I have the only business cards saying inspirator and guest lecturer. So it got to the board where they didn't want to accept that title on my business card, but I got it. That's an entrepreneur. So what I try to do with the companies I work with, my own companies and others' companies, are not thinking of small percentages in adding value to the company, but thinking multiplication. Multiplication is much nicer than adding a few percent here and there. So I tell you about some of the companies that have grown very fast and how I did it, often without resources. Like a lot of you have no money on the bank and no resources, so we have to use creative ways of growing something big. So let's see what we can do of the day. I call this nothing is impossible. I want you to feel a little challenged today. Today, for the first day, I don't want us to focus so much on our own ideas, but to take you outside of your own idea to get the creative mind of changing your ideas, which we will do more tomorrow. Tomorrow we will have a workshop, and I will speak about the future, how it affects our businesses and what we can do today to be successful tomorrow. I hope that you will like that. Today we will do a little workshop to keep you alive, awake. And I know from my experience, for 15 years at the University of Gothenburg, we started the Bachelor in Entrepreneurship. Today it's a 2-year course where I take in, they are really engineers, lawyers, doctors, and others that want to learn how to create an idea, from an idea to a company during those 2 years. And I will give you some examples how we did that. But I was actually hired at the university as something you could call an ideator. You don't have many of those but what I did was, my profession was to find the best idea provider and the best idea and supply that to the students that will grow real companies, commercial companies within 2 years, and then be partners in those businesses, which was a little unconventional at the time. It was 15 years ago. To build a company was not an academic performance. So it was a really big resistance at the university. But today it's a leading group of it's an international 2-year bachelor with people from 30 nations building a lot of powerful companies just within the framework of studying and together with our supporting lawyers and accountants and others that support us through that time. So the real aim of the day is to realize your dream. What I talk about when I talk entrepreneurship is not only business. It's kind of to grow a business, you need to manage life, relation. Like we talked about, you need to manage your marriage. Losing your wife or your spouse will make a lot of interruptions in your business, for example, or sons or daughters. So the approach I have is entrepreneurship is life, the whole life. It's not only doing business on the days and relaxing in the evenings. You have to be entrepreneurial in your relations and in whatever you do. Family, children, whatever. So the idea of today is that I want to take you a little out of your comfort zone, somewhere where you haven't been before, to find something new, And we together we'll help each other to grow our mindset of what we can perform and do. So it's short on me. I just work. I don't work so much at the university anymore. I'm more like I still supply the ideas, coach the students, and and I teach on creativity. Like this day I have full days with the students, taking them from idea to a big company in a day. So today we will have a challenge, 4 hours. So we will be a good way on, we will be on our way. And I also do the, like Dragon's Den for all the universities in Gothenburg, you know, really pushing the students. They try to get money from me. So you push them a little, and they get better at what they're doing, how to perform and sell their idea. This is what I've been working for the 15 years. Also have been the innovation system. How can we work together in society with academics, with businesses, with the community? And those are some, like Chalmers is the school of technology in Gothenburg, where I'm a senior advisor for everything that goes out and in of that quite big university. The other day we got the graphene project. Do you know the graphene project of Europe, one of the most interesting new materials, which was 80, 90 million pound project. And Business Region is a regional project, like you probably have something similar here to advise local businesses to help them grow in different ways. My mission was, or brew house is an interesting concept that we started 10 years ago in Gothenburg. I was chairman of the board of the incubator for the event industry. You know, the event industry is much more than you think. It's actually the world's biggest business event industry. It's tourism, it's teaching, for example, or it's film, music, and so on. And we had a center for an incubator for that, and together with a nationwide competition for event ideas. And if you won the competition, we will give you finances and a free place to be for a year, and coaches and so on. Speed incubator was something else, you know. Sometimes the idea were not strong enough, or the idea providers were not strong enough. So we thought we spent a little too much money on them before realizing that they would not perform. So we did a program of 3 months to speed incubate. So we select 10 of you, and the 5 best that will survive the 3 months. You see what I mean? So there was a competition. And if you survived and did what we told you to do, sell some product or get a business plan or get whatever resources you needed, you will be a winner, and we will finance your business. So that was some of the experience from that I will bring to you later on. So this is what I actually try to do, to find, can you see what's wrong in the pictures? Something different. And right to today, I will show you a little how I work with people. People is in the beginning, working at the university, I was so idea focused, you know, focused on the actual idea. So I thought the idea was the important part, but I soon learned that it's never the idea, it's always people. It's always people, otherwise I will have to do it, you know. You know what I mean? If the idea provider won't want to work, somebody else will have to do the work. So the experience of choosing the right idea provider have been my talent now for 15 years, and I'm really good at that now. I choose an entrepreneur, innovator, or idea provider that can work, will inspire my students, will inspire the project, will survive through tough times, so I don't have to involve. So that's really a good way of growing many things at the same time. I just leave it, and it will work. So those are some of my professions. So just for maybe connecting with some of you, I just tell you shortly the companies I'm involved in just now. FrameTwist is a web-based instrument to teach you on small small films teach you the whole Windows programming. Very successful in Sweden. We sell it with the same model as Windows themselves. So you buy 1 year use for one person in the company or 100 licenses. And we just have to film every new program that comes from Microsoft. So that's a good business idea for any of you maybe. Touch Tech is a world-leading touch technology. You touch and this frame will change in a very creative way. We are all over the world with this company now. It's a few young guys in Gothenburg. Floc Azure is a really interesting water technology. The water technology, instead of using filters or chemicals, we're using, I think the English term would be flocking. You understand that flocking? When the particles in the water draw together in themselves without just physical principles instead of any chemicals or any filters, which is a much more efficient method to clean water, and the water gets really clean. So what we just now into is for example, crayfish. We catch crayfishes in Gothenburg and we put them into our cleaning system, and so instead of having to sell the crayfish the same day, you can wait a month, 3 months, and you know what that means. That means double or triple price on cod, on crayfish or whatever. So we're testing that project now. And we had the last week we had zero deaths in our. It's called land-based water technology. So you either grow or sustain fish on land instead. Ray-based automated building technology. It's like having an iPhone in every lamp and everywhere where you have a connection in this building. So you don't need any cords. And that will, to begin with, that will save you 30% of your energy in the building. So it's really interesting to be able to do absolutely anything in the building. Hotel specialist, hotel booking site. So let's see. I found this picture yesterday. That was kind of a little interesting because of what I'm into in trying to, at the university, when somebody teaches at the university, the problem is that most students will not remember anything after the day or just a few points. So they have to, read it again and rehearse. So to really connect, I will try through the day, as you see, to be a storyteller. And I believe it's a much more efficient method to remember things. So you will remember my stories, and through the stories you will remember what I said. So I count at least 4 or 5 times the attention and the lasting memory if you just remember some of the stories. And tomorrow I will give you a short version of the presentation to everybody. Some of the slides that will make you remember if there was anything that you were interested in. So this is the difference between knowledge and experience. A very good picture to understand. Knowledge, we have knowledge. Everybody here, or your own knowledge is not enough. You need to connect your knowledge to something else, to somebody else, or to something else, and the experience. For example, when we work together, it's not 1 + 1. 1 + 1 is not 2. Then it will be 3, 4, 5. Because experience will grow exponentially. So today I want to give you an experience that will grow your companies and in the first place your personality or your way of doing things. So can we now 2 and 2? Can you see? So you have at least. So can you share backside of your paper, right? So you don't have to be good at take it on the backside of your paper so you have a white page. simple exercise. So your mission in 30 seconds is to draw your neighbor, and however you want, as simple as you want, just one way or the other. We need one here. Can you maybe join? So 2 and 2, and we give it 30 seconds, and then you sign and give it to your neighbor. So 1, 2, 3, go. So it can't be too detailed now.
Look at me, I can't see
Okay, sign, even if it's not ready, just sign. There can be a lot of value exchanging hands today.
Sorry, but Charles,
There you go.
Sorry. Right, here you
Okay, thank you. Let me see who this is. Yeah, really talented. Thank you, thank you. So this is just a small exercise to get out of your comfort zone. So you didn't have to be good at drawing, but you have to get out of your comfort zone to receive some of the things that we will go through today. So the teaching will be a little unconventional, but what I will talk about first some basic ideas on how to grow ideas. I call it find your dreams and 1,000 ideas. I will show you that there are at least 1,000 solutions on the problem and why. And I will talk about obstacles and failures, how to overcome. And transformation is just the beginning, how to get into transformation. And how to become world number 1 on something. That's an interesting, how do I become the best in what I'm doing. And growing with small resources, which is what I teach on the university. I teach on, and actually with my students, 2003, I was teaching on a subject that how you can use very small resources to be the biggest in the world. And I used my students to write a report, and we were building a company without money, from the bottom. It's now number 1 in the world. I will tell you about that company later on in media surveillance. So I was showing practically with the students how we could bring it. It's the turnaround of that company today. It has 1,000 employees and about £500,000 crowns. That's $70 million in turnaround today. So it's possible for any of you to do the same. It's just getting into the right way of thinking. How much and what you want to grow is up to you, but it's possible. And then in the end, I will share a little on learning and growing by sharing. Part of me and my wife's life have been to share. That's how I met Lawrence. So when we went to Rwanda, that I will talk about later on, I could see the opportunity. I'm used to a very controlled society, where university want to control me, the politicians want to tell me what to do, and the banks and so on. In Rwanda, there was an opportunity. That's why we are there with our organization to teach on entrepreneurship. but now to seeing the opportunity in a place and an open mind to entrepreneurship, we are now trying together with Lawrence and others to really change Rwanda to entrepreneurship. So the current project coming out from this visit to Rwanda is together with Swedish Aid to start over 100 schools within 2 years in Rwanda to teach on value-based entrepreneurship, not only entrepreneurship, but value-based. So certain values comes with the entrepreneurship, as you know. Otherwise, you can have problems. I will talk about that a little later on. Let's see. So in essence, for example, my students at the university, they are the hottest students. They are really coming from all over the world and the top students. And some of them, even though they are very well educated, if you ask them of their dream, they don't really know. Education or intellect doesn't help you. If you, for example, like some of the students are focused to do what the family says, or the push from the peers, or something else, and that will not help you, because if you're not going for your heart, you will get into trouble soon, like a lot of my students do. I'm close to my students, so they will come back and say, I'm trapped. I have a high salary, top job, but I hate it, and I can't get out of it. So you better know what kind of dream. For me, it's never money. It's never money that fulfills your dreams. It's something else. Money and resources will go after you if you go for your dream. So just a short exercise before we get into some other things. Can you tell me, just to focus first, and then we will expand. This is a little desert island, and some of you maybe have tested this before. What would you bring to a desert island? One item. Think for a minute, and then tell your neighbor what you would bring and why. From now, I tell you in a minute. Then think of what would you bring to the desert island and why. Okay, share.
Survival technique. Sorry?
Kind of coming from Dublin to Cork,
Okay, thank you.
We'll stick together.
Are we ready? Okay, do we have any original suggestions? Something that is out of the box? Tell me. Yes.
Trevor said a boat.
Yeah? A boat. Great. Okay, I was too. Okay, very great. Anything else?
Helicopter.
A helicopter.
I went for a phrase book so I can talk to the locals.
Yeah.
all of them.
Good luck.
However many there are.
Right, so do you salmon later?
Desalinated, yeah, so you will survive, yeah.
An umbrella.
An umbrella.
I use a surfboard, similar to boat, but also you have fun.
Okay,
I
yeah.
use it as shelter.
Huh?
I bring silt and a wow.
See, what?
Silt, so, you know, the rainwater.
Yeah, we'll go through, yeah, okay, anybody else?
A knife.
A knife, yeah, that's practical.
Tea bags.
That was really surviving though. Okay, let's see. Now I'm going to take you on a ride. Normally, you know, often I do this with students. So you have to be young at heart now. And when I tell my students that we're going into a competition, they get into competition mode. So they don't see anything else than winning the first prize. So I hope you're the same type of person. Try to be open-minded, creative, out of the box for the exercises we will do. So it will, by purpose, it's a little speeded up, so you won't have the time to think too much. I want you to really get out of the box in thinking. So fasten your seatbelts, and we try to get into the first part, which is one thing that I've been handling a few thousand ideas now in 14 years. About like 95% of the ideas will be scrapped for the purpose of university or for other things, and from those ideas we will have a jury, and you know we will go through. For the university purpose, we will need a high originality, we will need a worldwide market, we will need something that is unique for the product or service. And what I've seen through the years, that the problem is never the lack of ideas. The lack of ideas is more than enough. It's the entrepreneurs, it's you guys that we lack with the right spirit. And often the wrong spirit, you know, we have a lot of entrepreneurs, but often with the wrong spirit. So you will not sustain because you, for example, you have the focus on the money and not on the customer, and you will not survive. On the volume and not the quality, maybe not survive, you know. So how there is no lack of ideas, and I hope at the end of the day that you will agree with me that there is no lack of ideas. There is hundreds and thousands of ideas out there. It's just to find it. And now together we will do an exercise. Can I have your help, Peter and somebody else, to distribute the... So what we will do, I will give you each one newspaper, English newspaper, and I want you to look in the newspaper to find the problem. It's normally not a problem to find the problem in the newspaper because that's all they're writing about. And if you just look at the first page, you have the biggest problem. Now I want you, number one, to take the approach of find the problem, any problem in the paper, big or small, according to your interest or not. Try just to solve a problem. Try to be a little original, or just make a solution that you're confident with. So I want you to make a business out of first page or second page news. Business idea, think of the problem first. What is the problem? How can I solve it? And create a company. If you want, you can give it a name and kind of a short business idea. That's enough for this exercise. Find the problem, find the solution, start a company, and give it a kind the first business idea. And you can be out of the box as much as you want, you know. This is a creative exercise, so So don't be limited by resources or natural matters or anything. Just get out of the box and create something. Originality and something that really makes a change is awarded.